Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. I get a weird feeling this time of year. And it's not a bad weird feeling, although kind of, with Father's Day being today, the day I'm cutting this, people look at me and often wish me a happy Father's Day around this time. We're out running errands on a Saturday, and I get hope you have a great Father's Day. And I'm saying, well, thanks. I don't have kids, so I shouldn't be recognized for that. Now, my father is still alive, thank goodness. Going to be 88 years old this year, so hoping he has a good Father's Day because he's the one who deserves all the credit. But me, because I chose not to have kids, because I don't have kids, it's kind of weird when people look at me and think that I'm at least a father, maybe even a grandfather. So we'll just go ahead and wish you a happy Father's Day. They're kind of playing the odds. They do the same thing with my wife. People don't know. Unless they know you, and when you go into a restaurant or a store this time of year, they have no clue whether you're a father or a mother or anything like that. And they don't mean anything by it. And so I don't take offense to it, but it's just kind of weird where it's like, I mean, you're playing the odds, and I get why you're saying that, but it could trigger some people. It doesn't trigger me. Again, it's not because I couldn't have kids. It's because I chose not to. And I think it would be different for people who wanted to have kids, tried to have kids, and for some reason they couldn't, that they would be upset when somebody wished them a happy Father's Day. Again, two wives and never wanted kids, and I don't even know when I decided I didn't want kids. I was probably still in high school. Now, what's funny is both of my wives were the same way. By the time they were in high school, they knew they didn't want to have kids. And part of the reason I think I married the two women, well, not part of it, but we kind of agreed on that. That was one of the subjects we agreed on, which I understand is very rare, because a lot of young women, a lot of young men think about starting a family, think about that part of their life. Again, because it is not something, if it had happened, we always talk about if it had happened, it happens, oh well, but it's not something we really want, because, again, in my media career back in the day, I didn't want to drag kids all across America like my father dragged us. And again, it turned out okay, but I didn't want to do that to a child knowing that not everybody deals with it the same way. My wife's family did the same thing when she was young, and then when her brother came around, like I said, her brother's only lived in 3 cities, I think, in his lifetime. 1, 2, 3, well, it's College City, so 4. I'm thinking, her brother, who's 50 years old now, has lived in 4 cities. Her sister, 1, 2, 3, is also 4. My wife has lived in 6 or 8, in some cities a couple of times. And I forget I lost track of how many cities I've lived in, even with just my parents moving around in the media. That was the way the life was, and with the career, you never knew where you're going. I mean, figure, when I started dating my wife, we met in Indianapolis, and I told her, once I lost my job in Indy, I'm going wherever it takes me. And at the time, it could have been Fort Myers, or Memphis, or where we ended up in Akron. And she's like, wherever it is, I'm going, let's go. Some wouldn't have done that. Some wanted to stay where they were. And luckily, that wasn't an option with my wife, and she understood that, and she had no problem with that. And then we ended up in Nashville, and who would have guessed we'd lived here as long as we have? It's kind of strange how that works out sometimes. You plan for things, and then you don't plan for things. But again, now, we could have had kids in the time we lived here, and they would have already, in the 17 years I've lived here, kids would have been born and graduated from high school. Now, again, I can't imagine having kids graduating from high school when you're in your 60s. Oh my gosh. Figure my dad, when I graduated from high school, 45? Somewhere around there. It's kind of strange. Oh well. Things I think about on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you and yours, if you so celebrate. Back next week, another Road Warrior, kevinmason.us. Home to all of our videos. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Love it when you share with a friend. Love it when you leave a comment. Love it when you thumbs us up and thumbs us down, or I don't care. We just love it that you come back each and every week and give us about 4.5 minutes of your time. Back next week, another Road Warrior. Thanks so much.